Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Total War Saga Thrones to Britannia episode with me, your host, Imperial Dane, back here in Scotland. As we're recovering now from a rather nasty war with potential of another one here on the horizon. So there's only a few things to look out for. We got one territory separated from the rest. So this is going to be quite interesting. We have to first rebuild our forces a bit and build up our economy. I think it's going to be a big priority as that one rather suffered under the strain. So that's one thing I think that needs to be very much somehow fixed soon enough and build up so we can sort of perform better in future wars, and of course get our main army up and going, as that one of course suffered a few hits here and there. So some challenges on the horizon, to put it mildly. Currently only in a war with someone who's basically not near to us, so they're not necessarily a big issue, but right now we just gotta sort of put everything in order. That of course is going to be the challenge, and somehow also expand slowly, surely, and gain more resources. Since I mean, theoretically we just sort of slowly build up here, but that thing's gonna take too long.
Is growing.
Might result in some less than amazing issues. We're working on improving our spearmen, which is I think a good thing. I also think we should probably aim a bit to sort of improve our agricultural output here, though getting slightly better troops here and there of course will also have its benefits. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but I think we're going to be focusing on economy for now, simply since that's the part that is I think lacking the most in the current environment.
We are eager for glory,
which I think is going to hold us back from expanding our army too much, though we can at least work a bit on improving our spearmen. Slightly better armor, much better shield though, as you might have noticed. Less of a sort of weird buckler thing and more of an actual shield. Better melee skills as well, and better morale. They're also a bit more expensive to upkeep, but I think in this case, like, just that more than double in shield ability I think is really worth it, since it just improves our spearmen's combat ability, but also just the ability to not get shot to pieces by our enemy archers. So I mean, overall it's a pretty good thing, and of course it also has the benefit of improving our garrisons with these Alban spearmen. So it's an overall very beneficial thing, So of course the question of course is, where do we expand? And my overall sort of thought will be to hit these chaps. Even we got like, you know, friendship with them, they just, shall we say, too tempting targets. We're stronger than them, they're sort of a bit scattered, they're sort of right next to us, they don't have any allies. I mean, they're sort of just ripe in a sense, but we're not going to rush out for them right away. Still kind of want to get some of our troops there fully operational, particularly the sword band and the black blades I think are going to be important here in beating them up. So I want to slightly wait a bit longer before going to war there as well. Plus there's still the potential these chaps up north might be up to something, so I'm also a bit worried here about committing to that. Of course the argument could be, just, you know, go to war with these chaps first, finish what is started, or at least, you know, preemptively decide to kick the doors in and just steal everything they got. That is very much a possibility as well. In fact, might be the better idea, though of course then the issue then what happens in the south, but that's that. So ultimately it's going to come down to, we're going to go north to sort of finish business there, to sort of try and expand southwards. With winter setting in, they're at least going to have to wait one turn before they sort of commit to anything. I'm still not a fan of that army just standing about here. I am not a fan of it. It rather has me a bit worried, to put it mildly. It has me quite worried. Of course this actually makes me immune to snow attrition, though
our every foe shall fall.
The magical question is, does it apply to everywhere? It seems like it does, maybe? I don't know. So I mean, that of course is a benefit having that one, and could certainly help fix our issue in the winter, but still the question is, do we head north or do we head south? Oops, wrong button. Well, looking sort of a strength, Galgol is strength ranking 17, so sort of relatively weak. Sudrai is 6, so they're stronger. Orkney is 27. On the other hand, they're military allies with these chaps. So if we go to war with Orkney, I'm going to draw in these two, in which case things might get a bit more unpleasant. Whereas again, if I go for Galgoidal, well, that's it. Like, they're the only ones we're going to be ticking off. So I think Galgoidal is overall the intended target. Northumbria seems to be up to something here. I'm not entirely sure what. Already got a declaration of friendship with them, by the way. I think someone mentioned that in the previous video. And they're also enemies with Westerners. So that's worth keeping in mind. But I think we're going to hit these chaps.
We will not fail you.
Once this is slightly better brought up. And now we're just going to keep expanding our economy and our food supply, so we're less vulnerable to just getting whacked that way. Relatively. Bit more sheep. The wholesome, non-Welsh kind. Just waiting a bit here. And I think we just basically hit Galgoidal next turn. Different with Saga. Intriguing. More scribes, so we can get a bit more out of everything there.
Our bravery is
And our army is, I think, more or less good to go. I'm going to take this route. Allows us to get closer to Dunblan. Not necessarily taking anywhere off, then we can sort of rush it. And then we got our mighty army ready to beat down anyone who looks at us slightly funny. So I think that's going to work out reasonably well. Reasonably. Could upgrade this to partly just get more out of the territory, obviously, but also just to slightly increase the garrison in case those chaps get up to something there. I think a bigger garrison would slightly assist in keeping that place safe and giving them more time to counterattack. I mean, it could also just go straight to war with them, you know, launch an attack on their big army there, crash it, then seize all the smaller towns. But again, that mean I get dragged into war with Orkney. And as we've sort of explained before, even if I'm thinking we're going to concentrate here, I think just fighting two armies at the same time is going to be a bit of a headache. So I'd rather not end up there. I'd rather not, if possible.
The men are eager to get to it.
There we go. Army more or less in position for the fun stuff. Beginning next turn. Fun stuff. It's fun. Just very quiet here, passing a few turns we set up here for the war with the Sea Vikings here. And reclaim as much territory nearby as well. And of course expand our economy a bit, which is also important, since our economy is still on the weaker side, making it hard to expand and, you know, increase the number of armies we can maintain. So, I mean, getting more resources that way, I think, is going to prove to be hugely beneficial. There we go. Westerners is crushed.
For the glory of the
Quartermastery stuff there. He's just waiting to actually get an army. I mean, just in such shortage of troops and resources, you know, they have to just go around there like, you know, clothes, hand-me-downs. Alright, slow boost there.
We are eager for glory. See you on the no mercy.
There we go. Secure that bit. Small victory there.
Shall stand against us.
Plus a bit of extra resources out of this Abbey. Kelly the Abbey? Whatever that's supposed to be now. Pronounced as.
My warriors are unparalleled.
And we got, what is this? South Berlin, and we got Aberkuring, König, which is part of an overall more pure set of provinces. But even then, slight boost there, which of course is quite helpful. Even if it's just a slight boost. Plus it slightly expands our legitimacy, which of course are going to have benefits down the road. So there's a lot there. There is a lot there. Ending the turn. Northeast. I don't like the sound of that, even with the poor geography displayed so far by Total War. I'm a bit worried northeast could mean somewhere around here, meaning I have to deal with that. That means we're going to have to send troops up here right as I'm beginning an invasion to expand my economy. But still, we managed to hit it here, which is certainly going to have some benefits, though the trick, of course, is managing it. Since Guwan is under control of Strathclyde.
We will not fail you.
I might have to deal with some rebellions down the road here, but still, that's a bit of a boost there to the economy as well. We're slowly improving there now. We're slowly actually getting some financial stuff happening. I'm going to focus on here because construction costs going down, of course, going to have longer benefits, plus timber is trade, and of course, there's the goal itself from expanding it. So I think I like that.
Count on us.
I think I like that. This is actually kind of, I wish I could just skill away territory. If you can, you just hand it over here so then you sort of get a full province. Can you actually do that? I mean, it would be a nice way to just be nice to them.
Come share the comforts of my household.
No, you can't. Oh well. Yeah, there's an idea to explore. It was an idea to explore. I mean, would have, been a lot of, I think, quite beneficial in a lot of ways. Anyways, end the turn. End the turn. Oh, it's been representing a slight boost against sort of the overall financial ways, which of course is something we want. Right, there comes the Galgardal army. I was starting to wonder where those chaps had gone off to.
Success brings greater power.
More scribes, more money. Might slightly expand my forces here, though we're of course trying to make sure we don't end up buying the too expensive stuff. Slight levies, and I'm slightly tempted to grab one of those, but I think overall we can get 2 of these and roughly get the same benefit. A lot of ways. I could also go for a single more unit of black blades. I mean, it'd certainly make the King's army a lot more elite and a lot more stabby for sure. That would be somewhat expensive, but then again, you could argue so with these. But then again, these two are just more cost efficient, gives us a larger army, so there's just sort of a bit more filling, I think. So we'll aim for that. We'll aim for that for now. Strengthening armies with more axes with which to cut the heads off. But there's bloody Norwegians, I'm sure that's what they are, Norwegians. Damn Norwegians. In fact, the Norwegians, where the Danes sort of primarily went for England, the Norwegians sort of went more for Ireland as a fun fact to sort of hit and raid. The Swedes comparatively most likely went eastwards into eastern Russia to, slavery and all that stuff there. Fun facts. Very fun facts. So we got ourselves a big battle coming up here. That's going to be interesting.
Our bravery is legendary.
Economy further improving. Large army there.
For the glory of the Gales.
Slightly tempted just to add in some extra stuff there. Even if it's not going to be full strength when the battle happens, just, you know, having a few extra things that I think could prove, shall we say, a bit beneficial. Then again, if they break and just cause morale losses, that might be less amazing.
No. We are eager for glory.
So the question is, do I come to them or do I just allow them to attack me? I mean, I don't think there's much reason to move about here as such. Plus, if they end up not attacking, that gives me another turn to replenish these forces, giving them a bit more up to strength. Which again would, I think, slightly increase my incentive to at least get a few more spearmen. Again, cheap, but they work. Maybe some more crossbowmen. There you go. Let's end it and see what happens. Let us end it and see what happens. I mean, right now, hopefully our advantage is we just basically got the better shieldmen or spearmen in that sense, which should certainly give us some strength in these engagements. Plus, of course, we got the elite swordsmen, the retinue swordsmen, and some other chaps. So we should have a good chance that we should have a good chance. Particularly the crossmen should also hopefully have an impact. Hopefully. Alright, so there it go for us. That's the off chance that they didn't. Fight is looking reasonably close, so I'm not going to, of course, auto-resolve. Hitmen, Eastman warbands, axemen, lots of them, some long axes, some Eastman fighters. And we got a bunch of archers and skirmishers, so let's have at it. Let us have at it. In this regard, we definitely have, I think, the advantage in the spearmen, and again, our swordsmen should also be good cavalry. Plus, like, there's a retinue level compared to us, which the swordsmen should help sort of carry the difference there. These two elites, well, one elite and one retinue level out of them. So let's see how this is going to work out. Alright.
Levymen.
I don't think we need our archers to hang about out there in the open.
Awaiting orders.
Okay, for some reason they can't stand there. I'm guessing that's supposed to be marshland, but it just looks like they're afraid of standing in some slightly taller grass with some funny looking knobs on top. It's unnatural, sire. Guess we just ship towards here.
Spearmen.
Guess we keep them as a reserve.
Making ready.
Apparently they can't.
Ride hard.
Yep, so apparently our flank is basically covered by this. I mean, that's nice to know, actually.
Ride to victory.
There you go, moving ahead. They got their half guard and their Eastman axemen. Moving ahead. Plus, of course, some lovely long axes.
Yours to command. Your will is ours.
Occasionally I find the skirmish mode is a bit weird, like they'll just run off even though there's like something in between them and the end, but there you go, getting up good shots, shooting the skirmishes quite well. They're just being scattered out of there. Yeah, the Scotsmen did have crossbows compared to most other armies, in part I think they've been using them as hunting weapons there up there in the Highlands. And they sort of slowly caught on again throughout Europe from there. But there you go, completely wrecked here by the crossbows. They're really good weapons, but see now they're apparently learning to shoot in arcs, which is not something they were allowed to in Attila. Fun fact.
Battle awaits us.
Awaiting orders.
Set for war. Agreed.
Okay, they're trying again. They're a brave bunch, aren't they?
To battle.
Spearmen.
also kind of done. In that sense, I guess.
Fireman! That was too close. Quick,
There we go, they broke.
Take courage.
Got the other scout unit over here alongside their horsemen. Oh dear, looks like some of the men broke up. Again, this is a bit the issue with the forces in that sense. They don't have a like, particularly amazing shields.
Pound the earth! Attack! Swordsman! Making ready!
It's an interesting tactic the AI seems to be up to here. It's not what I usually see, honestly.
Archers, don't hold back. Pound the earth.
Anyway, it's going to try and catch the cavalry here with a spearman.
Awaiting orders! Spearman! Enemy turn! Brace!
I mean, if we can destroy them that way, that's pretty good for us.
Swordsman! Hit hard! Attack! Attack! Get them! Spearman! Eager to fight!
Get them. Set for war. Right.
Alright, flanking there.
Our general is under attack!
Crush them.
To battle! Spearman!
Attack.
Run, warriors!
Run, warriors. Withdraw.
Right, we're routing some of their stuff, which is excellent.
Levymen.
Yours to command! Don't hold back!
Axemen.
So far, Black Blades, they're definitely only living up to the name. They're just completely slicing through them.
Swordsman!
Sword Band's also doing well. Well, there we go. They're completely falling apart here. They're just disintegrating. Utterly disintegrating.
Levymen. Eager to fight.
Battle awaits us!
Annihilate. Get them.
Yours to command!
Our forces are set for war.
There we go.
Spearman! Spearman!
Hey, this is just a slaughter now. The lines have disintegrated. There's just one horde here,
Turning in our favor!
and they're just going to get crushed.
Battle awaits us. Kick your steeds.
Horsemen!
Levymen.
So at this stage, I'd say we've safely won this.
Ready. Get them.
Spearman! Annihilate them!
Get them. Axemen. Our forces are broken. Shields up.
Yeah, we compared to not really lost a lot, which is great.
Making ready! Swordsman!
Black Blades definitely did, I think, their part.
Eager to fight. Levymen.
Let's have you shoot at the chaps that are likely to get back in action if you don't shoot them enough. There we go. Complete rout of the Galagadal army. I think did excellently there, 107 kills. Some of the Axemen did pretty damn good as well. So yeah, that I would say overall went pretty well. Numerous of the units just completely and utterly crushed. A glorious victory here for the Scots, or future Scots anyways. Glorious, handsome, magnificent.
We are eager for glory.
Just gonna finish him off.
On the warpath. The men are eager to get to it immediately. Right then.
Go. Got some more legitimacy. Whoa, hello. So now we can just pretty much just grab this faction if you want to.
You can count on us.
And it's going to cost us some legitimacy, but I'd say that's a pretty good deal, almost. I mean, you probably don't get their armies, but I'd say this territory looks pretty nice. So I'm actually pretty tempted to do it.
Come share the comforts of my household.
Okay, apparently we don't do it for here. But we can do it somehow. Yeah, some rebels there. That was going to be expected. Shref Berlin is not particularly happy about our current situation. Alright, those are leaving my territory as well. That's great that they are building up. Well, that's potentially great. That's potentially great. But if we get the option to somehow like annex it up, do that. Since that'll certainly make managing some of my territories a bit easier. We gotta deal with that, that's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying, but easily dealt with. Stab, and down he goes.
I'm coming into my own.
Fix that fast.
War is what we do best.
Go.
My warriors are unparalleled.
That's going to be turned around there to something a bit more useful.
You're a welcome sight. What can I do for you?
Oh. By the way, got a nice chunk of the map here. Economy is also continuing to slowly but steadily improve. I might like to be able to be expanding the Northern Army in preparation for war against the Northern Sea Vikings, and of course in preparation for them trying to declare war on me, the little pricks. Damn Norwegians.
I expect you need gold to sweeten the deal. I shouldn't.
Nah. I'm just going to take what I need. I don't need a little gold. I need a strong economy, which I'm going to get from seizing all you got. That's basically how those things work. So my apologies there. I know you had to hope for a bit more, but that's sadly not how it's going to work out. That is not how it's going to work out, I'm afraid. Slight levy added there. Sadly not spearmen. What's that? We're getting some improvements here though. We'll soon get some extra piece there, and then we'll sort of move towards this. We can also, once we begin expanding some of our stuff here further, particularly up north, we can actually build this, which gives more food but also increases the farm income, so that's pretty good. That is actually really good. Since that is obviously a big farm region for us, so being able to just expand the income from it is going to be quite potent. Particularly in the longer term. So getting a watermill going there is something I'm quite keen on. East England's gone. Shame. But that's how these things go. And this has been ceased. Splendid work, and apparently we get some nice trading going on here, plus another locking camp. That is also pretty nice, and further constitutes a big boost to our economy. This is going forwards. This is very much going forwards. But of course it's just straight up outstanding.
the glory of the Gales.
I think I'm going to increase that, and don't think I'm going to aim for that right away. I think we're just going to keep focusing on food and economy overall.
We will not fail you.
And next up will be Dun At and Dun Olig, and then Dun Alberta, and we also got Kel Daltain. Yes, we got an army sort of sneaking about there. I might actually just raise a smaller army to sort of help deal with whatever they might got going there. Plus sort of help you see some of the smaller villages while keeping my main army sort of freed up. Still, this represents a nice boost, I think, now to the overall state of the Circenn. A much better situation than previously. Oh dear. Windstorm. Bit expensive repairs, but could be worse. Let me just raise that army in Alt-Clut. That is a pretty good trait to have. Just run some spearmen there to act as support. Single unit axemen. That should be able to deal with any of that. Probably should begin expanding my own capital a bit further. Of Scone. Not quite as intense in combat, but you know, I'm not trying to start several wars at one time. Just need to slowly improve the economy so we can sort of afford to go more aggressive on warfighting.
You can count on
Which
us.
does occasionally take a bit of a while, mate. I think we'll increase it. Almost got to
The
an
men
up
are eager to
within
get
reach.
to it.
Apparently we do get hit there with the attrition, so apparently it's just within the territory itself. That is good to know. Also decreases its utility, but still, of course, the huge unit replenishment bonuses are quite nice, and of course the food bonuses are not bad at all either.
Bravery.
So what can else do there? I mean, we can upgrade this one for less corruption overall, plus a bit more happiness. Guess we'll do that. So yeah, slowly improving, increasing our wealth, and by sheer coincidence, decreasing our enemies, or potential enemies. I mean, obviously we've increased it temporarily, our number of enemies, but obviously long term we will be working towards decreasing the number of potential enemies to Scotland. So I mean, this is all just a brilliant strategy. Long term it is. Short term, it does have a few potential issues, but you know,
Our
minor
bravery
details.
is legendary. Get them now!
What the hell is lax fish? Let's see. Well, we could probably push that one up to a full rank there. And there we go. Ship mill up. A water mill. Next up is ship mill. Oh yeah, that certainly helps make this province a bunch more profitable. Which of course is exactly what we want. Gloriously so.
Success brings greater power. Gales forever.
And there we go. Seizing their capital. quite a big one of that too, it would seem.
Right then.
Boom. So that'll be a bit of economic benefits from that. We could build a storage cave here. We could also aim for a blacksmith. Or we could go for like a church to help sort of deal with the upcoming issues with a certain someone. Holy smokes. Apparently got hit by something nasty there out of nowhere. That's a bit annoying. Oh well. Oh well, that'll have to wait till next turn since we just put so much effort into that. All we're doing that is ours and slowly building up that garrison. And soon we should have our estates now, is it? Interesting. And finally we can get our big farm bonus there, which I think is going to be sort of the desirable goal there. Theoretically, we sort of further aim up, but I don't want to increase our upkeep costs. No, thank you very much. I do not see much purpose in that one. To be very, very fair, it seems in fact quite counterproductive. At least short term. Long term, obviously, it could have benefit, but right now, since the economy is so very important, increasing the upkeep cost for our forces seems very silly.
War is what we do best. Fear us.
Not hitting done alike.
Agreed. Immediately.
Go, that's a nice hunting station there. Gold and other things. Get repairs going here. A bit expensive, but that's just how those things go. And I think we got a merchant for that. Boom. And then we just need to take done about. And then we hit somehow for that one. I could potentially leave that to this army actually, which should be able to take on this, and then head for this, and then probably just annex it. Maybe even. That's certainly a possibility I could consider. But I'd say doing this economy episode we managed to more or less double our economy while still increasing our army, so I'd say that's pretty good, and should overall allow us for sustaining much bigger wars.
For the glory of the Gales.
Which is definitely
None
very
shall
nice
stand against
for
us.
us. Not for our enemies, obviously. They're probably less impressed by that, but we're not here to impress
None
them.
shall stand against us.
We're here to crash them. What?
Can't do that.
Interesting, so that's contested. That is contested. Well, I'm gonna head down here.
Fear us.
Hunt down those blighters.
My warriors are unparalleled.
And I'm gonna upgrade that one since this is really good investment. More food, and of course just every other bonus as well, including industry and such. So I mean overall that's just really great. But I think we'll be stopping here for today's episode, so thank you all for joining in. Hope you enjoyed it. A bit more of a quiet episode. They did have one larger battle, but overall just mostly focusing on just improving the economy so we can actually get into some bigger wars and not just immediately have to immediately considering, you know, making peace with everyone because we can't really sustain it. I mean, we got overall, I think, a much better economy, also to get better once the last bit of research is done. We're overall improving our farm regions by this and expanding into more regions, so we should overall, I think, increasingly maneuver us into a position where we're going to be strong and sort of able to take on a lot of foes. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. This is Imperial signing off. You're back in another 2 days time with another video. Cheers everybody. You were a wonderful audience. Bye.